For more on the election, let's bring in political analyst Stefan Dolgert from Brock University. Stefan, the latest aggregate polling data from 338 Canada shows the Tories holding a commanding lead and projecting they will end up with more seats in the House. Given the tighter time frame of this election, can the Liberals or NDP make up the ground?
Well, if you were a betting kind of person, I would say you probably should be putting your money on the Conservatives. Look, the Liberals and the NDP have a problem, which is that Ford is a fairly popular politician at the moment. And in a tight campaign season, that's exacerbated. But also, I have to say, just what I have seen from the campaign rollout from the Liberals and the NDP, it doesn't give me a lot of confidence that they're really kind of ready to play, that they really, are ready to bring their A game on day one, especially the Liberals.
Tell me more about that. What are you seeing that suggests that the Liberals aren't ready for this election?
Well, so I have to say with both the Liberals and the NDP, I don't see a lot of kind of preparation in terms of a vision and actual, plan to, take on the Conservatives. With the Liberals especially, the initial press conference, the Crombie event today seemed a little bit amateurish, I have to say. Did they get consent from the people who were behind them showing up to their medical appointments at the building where they were in Barrie? I don't think they did. The whole thing, it was hard to hear, the questions from the press there because it was windy, and it just didn't really seem like they had their act together.
Well, sticking with Crombie, the Liberals really haven't bounced back since that disastrous outcome in 2018. Do you think she's the right person to bring them back to a double-digit seat count in the legislature?
I mean, she's clearly an experienced politician. She is clearly smart, but the Liberals had time to prepare for this, right? Even though, it was just last week that we really got the word, okay, it's going to be Wednesday, that the election's going to be called. There have been rumblings for a while, and especially you could see with the federal election coming soon, we know that in general, in Ontario, basically, if you're a Conservative, you want Liberals in power at the federal level. And so we could predict that Ford would try to have an election while there were still Liberals in power. So the Ontario Liberals kind of knew what was coming, and yet they just didn't really seem, prepared. There was not a lot of kind of vision and a lot of specific planning or programming in terms of what they actually plan to do. And so, even if Crombie really pulls herself together, I'm not seeing it right now.
What about Marit Stiles and the NDP? Do you think they're ready? Do you think they can hold on to official opposition status?
They are a little bit behind in terms of polling versus the Liberals, right? So maybe about a 5% split, with the Liberals favored a little bit over the NDP. But it looks to me like the NDP was just a little bit more prepared. Certainly their initial campaign event, Stiles' campaign event, was more put together. But neither one of them really seemed to be, I don't know, they don't seem to be taking an understanding of the situation where voters are really, really scared, I think, about tariffs and about, what's coming, with this Trump administration. It's not just the tariffs, it's all the other stuff that's going to be coming, waves of maybe immigrant, refugees from the U.S. Ford is really capitalizing on a rising sense of Canadian patriotism. And I think the Liberals and the NDP are just kind of steering away from that. And it's kind of a curious move. They're really trying to, batten down, or not batten down, but they're really trying to focus on the kind of bread and butter issues, healthcare, housing, which makes sense. But there is also this bigger existential threat to Canada, and they're just not really thinking about that.
That's political analyst Stefan Dolgert from Brock University. Stefan, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.